said that President Donald Trump's TV announcement the day before was the first hard confirmation he received that the National Guard would be sent to the city on an anti-crime mission. Mayor Paul Young said he learned the idea was under consideration when Republican Governor Bill Lee's office informed him earlier in the week. The Democratic mayor said conversations continued throughout the week, and he had been talking about the possibility of getting more law enforcement presence through the FBI, the Drug Enforcement Administration, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives. Then, on Friday morning, Trump made his announcement on Fox News. He said Memphis is deeply troubled, and we're going to fix that just like we did in Washington, where he deployed the National Guard and surged federal law enforcement. Days earlier, Memphis police reported drops in every major crime category in the first 8 months of 2025, compared with the same period in previous years. Overall crime hit a 25-year low, and murder a 6-year low, police said.
This morning, we learned that the president and the governor are looking to bring federal resources to our city, which include the National Guard, which they have the authority to do. I want to be clear, I did not ask for the National Guard, and I don't think it's the way to drive down crime. However, that decision has been made. And as mayor of the city that I love, of Memphis, Tennessee, my commitment is to make sure that we work strategically to ensure that this happens in a way that truly benefits and strengthens our community. I want to note that we have been making progress as a city on reducing crime. 13% overall reduction in crime in 2024, 19% reduction in violent crime, 29% reduction in murders, 37% reduction in car thefts, and that's in 2024. And on 2025, we're on pace to beat those numbers. We've been executing a very deliberate strategy, one that focuses on identifying the most violent individuals and groups in the city, and we've seen success. We've invested in a citywide camera network that provides the technology that allows us to capture criminals more quickly. We've recently had a successful FBI initiative in partnership with MPD that has produced significant results. And because of the work and the tireless efforts of our law enforcement, we're seeing double-digit percentage reductions in crime across the board. And I believe that what we should do is double down on those strategies that we know work. I think it's important that I say here as mayor that we know the work is not done. Our city is still far too high on too many of the bad lists. And we're committed to putting in the work to making sure that we do just that. I want to speak to the reality that far too many Memphians feel. Just over the past couple of weeks, we had a beautiful 901 Day celebration, our only holiday, the only holiday that we celebrate. No other place in the country, 901 Day. Beautiful celebration. The event was scarred at the end of the night after everything was over because we had teenagers that had a shootout. We had a home in Hickory Hill where 4 residents were shot in their own home. I had an event last night, just last night, where I was walking through a festival and there was a daughter that chased me down to hand me a letter that her mama had typed for her to give to me and put in my hand, where she talked about her son that passed away in 2018, and she's still looking for answers. So the pain of violence, we feel it. We know it all too well. To me, this is not about politics. This is not a political stunt for anybody up here. We're talking about real lives. So despite the reductions that we've seen, the crime is still too high and there's still too many victims. That said, we're going to continue to be laser focused on what it takes to reduce crime in our city. We know the National Guard is coming. My plan is to make sure that as mayor, I'm able to work with this community, with the governor, with the federal government to ensure that the support that is provided supports the initiatives that we know work and not distract from our law enforcement efforts. Let me say my ultimate goal after this short-term presence of individuals coming to the city, my ultimate goal is to make sure that we get a long-term partnership and commitment with the state, with the federal government, community partners, that we are going to address the root causes of violent crime, that we're going to be able to access resources for outreach and rehabilitation for people who may have already made bad decisions in their lives, that we're going to invest in the programs that truly address the trauma and much needed mental health services that are needed in our community, that we're going to invest in building a workforce and a pipeline where we're training young people for the trades and the jobs of the future and the ones that they can access quickly, where we're stabilizing communities by investing in housing and small business corridors throughout the city of Memphis. And most importantly, that we all remain committed to raising the level of hope in the hearts of the people that live in this community. Hope is about a clear image of the future and a true belief that that image can be achieved. And for far too many, that hope has been gone. And my goal as mayor is to make sure that all of the things that we do are all centered around elevating that hope. And let me lastly say that Memphis is a special city. It's a special place. We're different. We're already doing the work. And now the world is going to get an opportunity to watch us succeed.
My question is for the people out there. Mayor Harris just had a news conference this morning. He said he's a little fearful. For the Memphians out there who are fearful, what's your advice if they get pulled over by the National Guard once they've established their presence here?
Well, I think Mayor Harris probably reflects the concerns of many individuals. And as I mentioned earlier, there are questions that we don't have answers for yet. I don't think the National Guard will be pulling people over, but those are things that we are going to have direct conversations about in the days and weeks to come. I think it's important to note that in terms of timing, this is not happening tomorrow. We have some time to talk through some of those issues and questions, and I expect that we will have a long list of questions that we want to get answered from this community as we have those dialogues.
President Trump this morning on Fox and Friends said that you were happy about this. Would you say that statement is accurate?
Yeah, that was an overstatement. Yeah. I am focused on the resources. FBI, DEA, ATF, those are the things that I believe will truly help us be able to support law enforcement and reduce violent crime. I do not support the National Guard. However, they are coming. It's not the mayor's call. The mayor doesn't have a say or the authority to stop them from coming. And so my goal is to make sure that as they come, that I have an opportunity to work with them to strategize on how they engage in this community.